Hello students, welcome to Vedanta Ias Academy YouTube channel. This is Current Affairs Today video series, and in this video series we bring up you all the important current affairs on daily basis. These current affairs are taken from several newspapers and websites like PIB, Press Information Bureau, where government generally updates its schemes and policies on regular basis. Apart from this, the other newspaper or news sources are The Hindu, Indian Express, Down to Earth, and apart from these, there are other newspapers also from which news are taken away. And these news which we discuss here are always important for your examination, right? So today is 9th October 2022, and in this video, we will be discussing about all the articles that are being published on 9th October. So let's see what are the topics that we are going to discuss in today's video. In this video, we will be discussing about nomadic communities of Jammu and Kashmir. So there are certain communities in Jammu and Kashmir, they are facing problems and certain solutions are being provided to those problems. So we will be discussing those in details. Next topic is click chemistry. So we can see Nobel Prize are being given to several peoples on several grounds in several subjects like physics, chemistry, physiology, medicine, literature. So chemistry Nobel Prize have been given to 3 laureates for click chemistry. So this is a concept that we need to discuss in today's video. Next is Paleogenomics. So again, this is part of our Nobel Prize winning work. So we'll be discussing about Paleogenomics also. Our last topic of the video would be Chandrayaan II, right? Before starting with the topic, I would insist you to please like, share and subscribe Vedanta Ias Academy YouTube channel. Apart from subscribing, you can also follow our social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn to get all the updates. And yes, please don't forget to press the bell icon to get regular video updates on time, right? So that you don't miss any videos. So let's start with our very first topic. This is part of your GS paper 1 as well as 3. Why 1 and 3? Because here we can see the nomadic tribes, they are part of Indian society. And 3, because science and technology has been used to provide the solution to their problems. This news has been published in The Hindu. Today is Sunday and we get almost many explained articles in The Hindu, which is important for your examination. That's why in today's video, most of the articles would be from The Hindu only, right? So let's see what is there in news. Before that, we have to know about whom or about which people we are talking. News, we know that there are certain people who are facing problems, but exactly who are those people about whom we are going to talk in this article? So there are 2 communities, Bakarwal and Gujjar communities. So they were listed in scheduled tribe in Jammu and Kashmir in year of 1991. Before that, they were considered a tribe, but logically, or you can say constitutionally, they were listed under scheduled tribe in Jammu and Kashmir in 1991, right? And what I was told, there are 2 communities, Gujjar as well as Bakarwal. Now these nomadic tribes, they spread over large area of Pir Pranjal range, which is from Hindu Kush to Ladakh, and these are located in Himalaya mountain of South Asia. And these are generally goat herders and shepherds. Goat herders means and shepherds means the people who rear sheep, and goat herders means the people who rear goats. These are 2 animals, pet animal you can say. They are reared for several benefits. And apart from this, they are found in entire Kashmir region. In India, like in Pakistan, they are found in province of Afghanistan, Nuristan, which is province of Pakistan, they are found here also. So these are the places where these Bakarwal and Gujjars are found. Don't get confused with these Gujjar which are found in Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. They are different, and here Gujjar are the scheduled tribe people, right? And who are these nomadics? So nomadics are the people who move regularly from one place to another place. They generally live a mobile life, that they don't get fixed to one place. They don't have pakka houses or fixed houses. They move from one place to another places depending upon the requirement. Like these tribes, they move in to and fro motion. Like in some months they will be at lower Himalayas, and in the other months they will be in upper Himalayas, because of availability of pasture or the greenery which are used to graze their cattle, right? And these Bakarwal and Gujjar, they belong to same ethnic group, and that's why intertribal marriage also take place. We know that in India, taking for marriages, there are certain conditions. We generally, if we talk about Hindu community, so there are caste system and intercaste marriage are very difficult in India, especially in Hindu religion. Similarly, in Christians also and Muslims also, there are certain things which people see before getting married. So if we talk about these 2 tribes, so they belong to same ethnic groups. That's why intertribal marriages are very much easy possible over here. Now we'll see what is given in news. So in news over here, it is mentioned that for centuries, Jammu and Kashmir nomadic communities known as Gujjar and Bakarwal, they are underknown. They generally take journeys, long journeys, like from one season to another season. They move from one place to another place in search of pasture for their livestock, for their cattle which they rear. Now, what are the issues? So while traveling from one place to another place, on certain occasions they lose many cattle and their family members also in some road accident or natural disasters. So there are certain reasons behind these losses, and there are possible solutions which can be provided, and they are being given to those people, and these solutions are taking help of technology. Now, what technology role is playing over here, we'll see that, but before that we'll see what are the services which are being provided to them. So technological solution including the transport services are being offered to these people so that they can cover long distances easily, more safely, and in less time, right? And even Jammu and Kashmir Tribal Department has surveyed around 98,000 families. So there are huge number of these tribal people, and 98,000 families has been surveyed, and their map of the route and transit location has been found. That means what route they have to follow to migrate from one place to another place. So if this route will be known and the time will be known, so they can be provided the required facilities so that they don't bear any kind of natural or any kind of losses that they bear while traveling. Along with that, they also need an NOC, is no objection certificate, for permission of migration. Like if one people has to move from one place to another place and there are certain barricades in the between, like police personals or army personnel are there for protection of a country, so they need NOC certificates also, so that they must be known that they belong to India and they are migrating for certain reasons. And for this, a pilot project of around 10,000 families will be conducted next year. Now the technology they are using remote sensing technology and geographic information system. For this, what they will get to know, they will get to know where the green pastures are available and how it can be done easily. That means why people move from one place to another. So they can use for tracking the track, you can say, or the path through which they move. Apart from this, mapping routes will be done and migration pattern will be organized. Migration pattern means the time or in how many numbers they move, at what time they move, whether they move during day or they travel during night. So all the patterns will be noticed from using these technologies. And even they have been noticed that first time during spring they start from plains to Jammu, and in autumn they again go back to the Kashmir Valley, right? So for this and using these technology, a commission network will be also built. In communication network, they will be using radio messaging so that the grazing livestock and upper reaches of these things reaches people, and free transportation facilities will be provided to these people. And an embedded chip card will be provided to them, a kind of smart card in which all their demographic details like the transit route, their name, age, place, origination place, destination place, all the statistics required will be embedded into that chip so that they can pass the barricades, or wherever the checking is required, they can easily pass through those without wasting the time, right? And services which they will be offered, so they will be providing 50 trucks. The government is providing 50 trucks along with 100 light commercial vehicles which will be used to take these people along with their cattle from one place to another place. These services are being presently offered in 13 districts along with the migration routes. So as I said, certain technology will be used to find out these routes, and under these routes all the facilities will be provided, and even more than 12,000 families will be provided these service over a period of this month in October 25. Before October 25, these facilities will be provided to 12,000 families. And the free transport services, these are provided for the families who are traveling from Kashmir to Khwas and Budhal in Rajouri, Ankur in Jammu, Madhar in Poonch, and Mansar in Sambha. So these are the places in which these facilities are being provided. Now what will be the benefit? I've already told the benefit would be that these people can safely travel from one place to another place without any loss, and even they will be not affected by the natural disaster on highway. Like certain times landslide takes place and lots of cattle are dead, and sometimes even they lose their families also. So with the help of these transportation and technological solutions, all the benefits will be provided to them, right? Now moving to our next topic. This is about click chemistry. This is again part of GS paper 3 science. So we know that in 2022 Nobel laureates for chemistry has been given for changing agriculture, pharmaceutical, and biomedical field with help of this click chemistry. Now the chemistry prize, Nobel Prize of Chemistry, has been provided to 3 scientists: Caroline R. Bertozzi, Mortal Medlar, and K. Barry Sharpless. So these are the 3 names to whom chemistry award has been provided for their contribution or development of click chemistry and bioorthogonal chemistry. Now before moving into this, knowing about click chemistry, we should know what are the certain highlights, like what are the things that are being used for this click chemistry. So this technique has been used in certain sectors like delivering treatment that can kill cancer cell. Now we know that every human being contains cancer cell. It only affects when these cancer cells get accumulated or collected to one place. Only after that it causes cancer in a people. Before that, these cells are not harmful, but when they collect at one place, they start damaging the body tissue, and it is fatal in nature. So this technique can be used to kill those cancer cells without impacting the other healthy cells, and ultimately it will help to people get healthy. And the other method or the other sectors where it can be used is to build large amount of polymers to build materials. This one-click chemistry based drug is currently undergoing phase 2 clinical trial also. There is a drug which is being made and it is going under phase 2 trials, and the head of this clinical trial is Bertozzi. We have seen over here Carolyn R. Bertozzi, who has won chemistry Nobel Prize for the work, right? So what does a chemist do? Generally, work of chemist is to make new molecules. We know everything on the planet is made of atoms and molecules. Now, most of the things are natural, but if you want to make anything artificial, you need to mimic the molecules. Like the work of chemist is to develop new molecules in scientific way. The standard approach is to mimic the nature. Like in nature, whatever is present, generally try to mimic them and form artificial things of that. Like in earlier 20th century, we talk about nitrogen. Nitrogen is the most abundant element in Earth, our atmosphere, or not on Earth, on atmosphere. But still, scientists are striving very hard to get the artificial way to provide nitrogen. And finally, German chemist Fritz Haber cracked the code for ammonia, NH3, and found out how this nitrogen using hydrogen can be made to synthesize the plant so that these plants can use the nitrogen and grow in proper manner. Now, Haber process which he has developed is the most dominant way of producing cheap fertilizer. What is fertilizer? We know fertilizer are used for agriculture or growing crops so that their efficiency, or you can say the productivity, increases. So Haber's process is a very dominant way of producing cheap fertilizer. Now the process we talk about, the process which is being used is very polluting and energy intensive. Like lots of energies are used, and even environmentally it's not very safe. So the challenge of modern day challenge is to make or produce something which is less polluting and less energy intensive. That means it does not use lots of energy, and along with that it is not very pollutive in nature. So the major challenge is to produce green ammonia. Now we'll come to know what does this click chemistry mean. Now click chemistry means, click is a sound, like this is a sound of click. So whenever if you have to travel using a car, and when you fasten your belt, seat belt, there is a sound produced. So that is sound of click. Even when you click a mouse, there is a sound produced. Click means instant. So if you try to understand here, for any chemical reaction to be called a click chemistry, so here is a certain necessary conditions, like it has to be done in presence of oxygen and in water. Why it has to be done in that way? Because it is cheap and environment friendly solvent, and it can reduce the amount of pollution that will be released after the chemical reaction. Sharpless, he has given certain example of any experiment or any chemistry or production method to be a click worthy. Like here you can see azide labeled biomolecule N3 is connected with cyclooctane labeled probe, and when these two get connected, click sound is produced. Not sound is produced, it means instant thing happens and the output is found. Now researchers have even begun to use clickable antibodies to target huge range of tumors. What are these tumors? So these are the cells which are causing impact on body in negative way. So these tumors cell has to be destroyed. So these clickable chemistry can be used for doing this. We have already seen that this has been used in medicinal purposes. Now once the antibodies is attached to the tumor, these antibodies, when they get attached to the tumor, a second molecule clicks the antibodies and is injected, and it can monitor the growth of deliver the dose of radiation. Like if any treatment is done using the radiation, after the radiation what are the changes, it can be monitored using those methods, right? So this was all about click chemistry. Moving to our next news, paleogenomics. This is part of GS paper 3. As you know, Nobel Prize in Physiology, it has been given to Svante Pääbo. You can see Svante Pääbo. He is a Swedish genetics, and he has pioneered paleogenomics. And it is a study of ancient homins for extracting DNA from human beings. Like anthropology. In anthropology, we know anthropology is study of life of traditional human beings. Now, ancient human beings are already dead. We can't observe them. We can only just study their presence, like this bones, skeletons, surroundings, and with the help of those things we can just guess, or we can study how their life would have been during the ancient period. Now Pääbo, he is currently director of Max Planck Institute of Evolutionary Anthropology in Germany, and he has pioneered in 3 fields. One is paleogenetology, genomics, and evolution. And because of such huge study, vast study, he has brought up many things which are beneficial for study in anthropology, right? So what we know about the ancient of human study. So in anthropology, we studied the ancient humans, how they used to live, and the general method was by analyzing the bones and objects around which were present over there. Like if any fossil is found of any human being, so along this fossil, the bones, any certain utensils, tools, and many things have been present. Using those things, people used to study or know about how ancient human used to live. But Plabo, since he has pioneered in DNA, he has tried to use genetic blueprint of material present on the bones or whatever the remains are present there. He take out DNA of those things and try to find out what would be the life of those people during that time. Even he has proved that Neanderthal, cousins of human species, they might have evolved 1 lakh years before humans, because they can just find the fossils, and on this fossils they take out the DNA, and there are certain methods with the help of which they can find out the aging. Now, how can a DNA be extracted from fossils? So the biggest problem in extracting DNA from fossil is that it get contaminated very quickly. Like for example, Pabo once was studying about 2500 years old Egyptian mummy, and he has to take out the DNA from that mummy. But since it had passed in several hands, like one people to another place, one place to another place, it got contaminated. And after contamination, proper results would not be achieved, which we are striving to achieve, right? So this is the biggest problem in collecting DNA from fossils. Now, DNA, what is DNA? We know that DNA is concentrated in 2 parts of our human cell. Cell is the most fundamental unit of body. If you remember your class 10 biology, you might have heard about or studied about cell. There are certain portions in cell, nucleus, mitochondria, and many other things. We know that mitochondria is powerhouse of cell. Now, these both 2 things, nucleus as well as mitochondria, both consist of genes. And nucleus is the center part of cell, and it consists of all the genetic information. And what is this genetic information? So all the traits, all the features, physical features, many things which are found in any humans or animals, those are because of DNA, because all the information are stored in DNA and they are passed from one generation to another generation. Like what complexion will you have, how would your eyes be, and many things are just passed on by DNA from one body to another body in their offspring, right? And if we see example or image of cell, you can see here, this is nucleus in a cell. These are the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. There are other part of like member receptor, Golgi complex, cell membrane, endoplasmic reticulum, nucleus, DNA. So these are the things, or the parts of the nucleus, cell. And we know cell is a very fundamental unit of our body. Now, implication of paleogenomics, like how the paleogenomics can be used. So we know that a study of DNA in ancient time, it provides independent way to test the theories. Like for anything, for any incident that happened in past, there are many theories which are being provided by several experts. Now, when we get the scientific proofs, so those theory can be tested, like which people or which scientist or which philosopher has given proper theory on that basis, if we can scientifically prove them. So in 2010, what happened? DNA was extracted from skeletons in Haryana, Rakhigari. Rakhigari, we know it's a very prominent Indus Valley civilization site, and here the old debate took place again, like indigenous of ancient Indian population, like from where the ancient Indian population was born. Either they belonged to Indian country also, or they migrated from other place to India. These fossils were 4,500 years old, and since they were new as compared to the DNA that's Plabo studied in his lab, that's why it provided better results. This paleogenomics, they also gives clues into diseases, like in ancient period, what type of diseases that were suffered from people living in those period. Like Neanderthal, they were linked with autoimmune diseases, type 2 diabetes, prostate cancer. These diseases are nothing new. These diseases also existed during those time also, right? So moving to next topic, our last topic, Chandrayaan II. This is part of GS paper 3. Now, abundance of sodium has been found on moon. This news will be very short in nature. So let's see what is in news. So over here it is mentioned that X-ray spectrometer class on Chandrayaan II, it has mapped an abundance of sodium on moon. So sodium is a mineral which is generally used by humans. If we see salt consists of sodium chloride. Sodium is very important mineral which is used by humans. Now, Chandrayaan-1 X-ray fluorescence spectrometer, it has detected the presence of sodium on the surface of the moon. And Chandrayaan 2, which is hovering over the lunar orbit, it has earlier discovered moon's ionosphere and plasma density. Now this spacecraft, it has been studied surface of moon since 2019 only, and the reason where this studies has been done is an exosphere. What is exosphere? It is the outermost layer of the Earth's atmosphere. We see the levels of atmosphere. We can see first layer of Earth's atmosphere is troposphere, which ranges from 0 to 12 kilometers, like you can say 0 to 18 kilometers. all the passenger planes, hot air balloon, everything flows in troposphere. Next layer of Earth is stratosphere. Temperature varies from 15 to minus 56.5 degree. In stratosphere, it is very cool, minus 56.5 to 2.5 degrees centigrade. It ranges from 11 to 50 kilometers. Next is mesosphere. All the meteorological rockets, all the meteors can find in this mesosphere. Its temperature ranges from minus 2.5 to minus 86.5 degrees centigrade, and the range is 40 to 50 kilometer to 80 to 90 kilometer, right? Next is thermosphere. Now again, thermo means heat. So here the temperature would be very high, minus 86.5 to 1200 degrees centigrade. So this temperature is really very high. And at the end, we got the exosphere, where all spacecraft or satellites move. So for observing moon, the satellite which is moving is in exosphere. From here all the observation has been made. So now let's see about Chandrayaan II. So Chandrayaan II is an Indian mission to send orbiter, lander and rover to the moon. So basically we have to study moon, like whether life can be possible on the moon or not. So this is the overall thing which we are trying to do with the help of Chandrayaan II, right? So this was all about today's video. I hope you have understood all the topics. If you have any doubts regarding any topics, please write down in the comment box. Thank you for watching today's video. See you in next video. And yes, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe Vedanta Ias Academy YouTube channel. See you tomorrow with new topics. Till then, goodbye.